Hello, everyone. We are here today to talk about entrepreneur and leader Elon Musk. We will first talk about his personal and educational background, followed with a summary of his companies he has led and leadership style. At the end, we will discuss his emotional intelligence and how effective his leadership style is. To better understand Elon's leadership style and entrepreneurial mindset, let's talk about his personal background first. Elon Musk was born June 28, 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, and is the oldest of three kids. He grew up in a very ambitious family. His dad was an engineer and his mother was a model and worked up to 5 jobs in order to support her family. Today, his brother is a venture capitalist and his sister an award-winning producer. School wasn't always easy for Elon. Being a bookworm and highly intelligent made it difficult for him to find friends and was bullied in school. His escape from bullies was technology, which laid the foundation for his success. When he was 10 years old, he started developing an interest in computers. And by the age of 12, he programmed his first video game, Blaster. His educational background is very interesting. Musk started school 1 year early and attended the private Waterkloof House Preparatory School and graduated from Pretoria Boys High School. When he was 17 years old, he moved to Canada and enrolled in Queen's University in Kingston. After 2 years, he transferred to University of Pennsylvania, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Physics and in a Bachelor of Arts in Economics. When Elon Musk was only 24 years old, he wanted to pursue his PhD in applied physics at Stanford University. However, due to the boom of the internet and the growth of Silicon Valley, he quit the program after 2 days.
Elon Musk has had great success in the companies he has founded and run. He is most notably known for SpaceX and Tesla Motors, but has had past companies that he has sold, as well as more recent endeavors. He began his career when he launched his first corporation, Zip2, with his brother Kimball. This was an online directory that many would refer to as the internet version of the Yellow Pages. After selling this company in 1999, Musk used the proceeds to begin X.com, which we all now know as PayPal, an online payment company. In 2002, Musk founded Space Explorations Technology Corporations, or SpaceX. By 2008, 6 years after its start, SpaceX was awarded a contract with NASA to handle cargo transport for the International Space Station. By 2012, SpaceX launched an unmanned capsule with supplies for astronauts, making this the first spacecraft from a private company to reach the International Space Station. Since this, SpaceX has hit a ton of milestones, including sending satellites into space, a rocket made of reusable parts leading to more affordable space travel, and future plans of sending a vessel fitting 100 passengers to Mars, as well as satellites to provide internet access. Around the same time he began SpaceX, Musk co-founded Tesla Motors, which creates electric cars, solar roofs, and battery products. Over the years, we have watched this company's continuous growth. In 2008, they introduced the Tesla Roadster, which can travel 250 miles on its lithium-ion battery charge. By 2017, Tesla became the most valuable car maker in the United States, surpassing General Motors. After experiencing some setbacks in 2017 and 2018, Musk began to personally oversee the engineering process and began to restructure the company. Although this reorganization resulted in a few company layoffs, it led Tesla to meet its goals and continue to bring new innovations to the motor vehicle world. In 2016, Tesla acquired SolarCity, which was once the leading residential solar installation company in the US and was also founded by Elon Musk's cousins. Although this collaboration is still relatively new and still working out the kinks, it is another step towards Musk's goal of using more clean solar energy rather than depleting fossil fuels. His most recent company is The Boring Company and was launched in 2017. The goal of this company is to reduce street traffic through boring and building tunnels. So far, the Boring Company has created a test tunnel in California and has proposed tunnels for travel and public transportation in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Chicago, and the Washington, D.C. area. Musk has successfully led many companies and continues to lead his current companies to greater success. His innovative ideas and leadership have helped to build powerful companies, and it will be very interesting to see what his future business endeavors will be. Next, we will discuss his leadership style.
Elon Musk has a transformational leadership style. According to Bernard Bass, there are 4 elements that make up a transformational leader. Bass felt that these elements were crucial for a leader if they wish to inspire, nurture, and develop their followers. The first element is that the leader be an idealized influencer or charismatic. Musk created a successful startup and convinced investors to fund his ideas. He also invested his own personal fortune into his projects, exposing himself to financial loss. His confidence in his ideas make him a great influencer. Musk is also an inspirational motivator. He articulated a vision that has been inspiring and appealing to others. Musk overcame incredible adversity in his 3rd SpaceX rocket launch. His response to this terrible catastrophe was to never give up. After only 7 weeks, he was able to successfully launch and land a new rocket. Although he was faced with monumental challenges, he displayed his authentic character during this difficult time and demonstrated his vision and commitment, which inspired his followers to also take on more challenges. Musk isn't an intellectually stimulating individual. He has been known to challenge assumptions and take risks. A good example of this would be when he had to make reductions in price on a rocket launch from $300 million to $60 million. He asks questions and solicits ideas to accomplish goals. When it comes to individualized consideration, one could say that Musk is somewhat unconventional. He has been known to criticize employees as well as motivate them. It is understood within his work culture that some expectations are deemed impossible. Some employees have exceeded their own expectations, but some have felt pushed to their breaking points with the unrealistic goals and long hours that are required. Musk may not be the most empathetic leader, but is constantly challenging his employees to focus on the collective goals of the organization. Some of the elements of transformational leaders like Elon Musk show authenticity, insight, innovation, and coaching. Musk is very passionate about his ideas and is focused on sharing that passion. He is authentic and not fearful to be himself. During his presentations, instead of being nervous, he is focused on his ideas, which make it very difficult for listeners to turn away from. He has insight in that he is communicating a purpose, meaning, and a vision for his colleagues to follow. He never stops learning and oftentimes reads for 10 hours a day. He is constantly focused on his goals and endeavors. There is little doubt that Musk is one of a kind when it comes to being innovative. He has taken breakthrough projects to the next level. His idea of making an electric car that surpassed the traditional vehicle on the road, along with all the revolutionizing space technology, sets him apart from the rest. He has coached his senior executives to motivate and inspire their employees through selflessness. He stresses the fact that their teams are not there to serve them and that their teams have their needs met before themselves. One step towards having his employees stay focused on their work is recommending infrequent meetings unless it is urgent or necessary. He has high expectations for all his employees and has the lead by example philosophy. All these factors make Elon Musk a transformational leader. Next, we will discuss his emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judicially and empathetically. Elon Musk has been recognized in several publications for his leadership and for his high level of emotional intelligence. He scores high in each of the 4 dimensions of emotional intelligence. This diagram shows the top 5 characteristics according to an IBM Watson Personality Insight questionnaire that he submitted. It does show that he ranks high in altruism, cautiousness, mindfulness, and other traits that relate to emotional intelligence. The first of the 4 dimensions is self-awareness. Self-awareness can be described as the knowledge and understanding of oneself. especially in knowing your own strengths and weaknesses. Elon Musk has proven to rank high in this by recognizing where he excels and choosing to have managers and leaders who can take over in areas that he may not be as efficient. He does take pride in knowing all of the different moving parts within his company and intentionally works on the floor in each department. But this is to make sure that he is in touch with all of the day-to-day operations and can apply his transformational leadership style in areas that need improvement. It is not to take over, do the work himself, or to micromanage his employees. The second dimension of emotional intelligence is self-management. Although Elon Musk has a higher emotional intelligence than most people, he is not perfect. His weakest dimension could arguably be his level of self-management. He is typically good at handling himself in most situations, but he has been known on occasion to crack under pressure. He has been seen crying in an interview, getting angry and posting responses to Twitter followers, and even occasionally blowing up or yelling at employees, which reveals his emotional side. This behavior could be justified by the amount of passion he has for what he is trying to do, but regardless, it can have a negative effect on his image in the area of self-management. Social awareness is the third dimension of emotional intelligence. Social awareness is probably Elon Musk's highest ranked dimension of emotional intelligence. Social awareness is the ability to understand others' emotions, listen to them with empathy, and willingness to help. He has been recognized for sending extraordinary emails to employees and getting to know each of his employees by name. One such email, after several factory employees were injured, he sent out to all staff members, and it read, "No words can express how much I care about your safety and well-being. It breaks my heart when someone is injured, building cars and trying their best to make Tesla successful. Going forward, I've asked that every injury be reported directly to me without exception. I'm meeting with the safety team every week and would like to meet every injured person as soon as they are well, so that I can understand from them exactly what we need to do to make it better. I will then go down to the production line and perform the same task that they perform. This is what all managers at Tesla should do as a matter of course. At Tesla, we lead from the front line, not from some safe and comfortable ivory tower. Managers must always put their team's safety above their own." You can notice in this email how he used phrases like "care about you," "trying their best," and "so that I can understand," to reinforce his concern for the employees and their safety. This is a great example of having good social awareness. The last dimension of emotional intelligence is relationship management. Relationship management is probably Elon Musk's second highest ranked strength in emotional intelligence. Relationship management is similar to social awareness because it deals with a leader's relationship to others and the ability to be liked by the people around you. Having social awareness, being able to listen to and understand other people's problems, will help to have high relationship management as well. All of these dimensions of emotional intelligence contribute to Elon Musk's ability to be a good leader and to help himself and the organization to be as efficient as possible. Next, we will talk about leadership effectiveness.
So Elon Musk is definitely an effective leader considering all of the success he has had with several different companies. I found an online article from predictivesuccess.com where he is interviewed and talks about his top 10 lessons for being a successful and an effective leader. First lesson he brings up is lead by an example. He says, if you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. No task is too menial. Just work like hell. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, even if you're doing the same thing, you know you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them to achieve in 1 year. Lesson 2, he says, lead with a purpose. You have to have a very compelling goal for the company If you put yourself in the shoes of someone who's talented at a world level, they have to believe that there's potential for a great outcome and believe in the leader of the company that you're the right guy to work with. Lesson 3, be creative. The problem is that a lot of big companies, the process becomes a substitute for thinking. You're encouraged to behave like a little gear in a complex machine. Frankly, it allows you to keep people who aren't that smart and who aren't that creative. Lesson 4 says be collaborative. Talent is extremely important. It's like a sports team. The team has the best individual player will often win, but there's a multiplier from how those players work together and the strategy they employ. Lesson 5, encourage innovation. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough, he says. Lesson 6, be decisive. Without decisive action to lay the groundwork today, the massive volume of affordable high-efficiency panels needed for unsubsidized solar power to outcompete fossil fuel grid power simply won't be there when it is needed. That's an example he brought up. Lesson 7 says be comfortable with change. It says on being CEO, it's eating glass and staring into the abyss. You never know which challenges are going to arise. Successful leaders are able to adapt in any situation and continue pushing forward towards their team's goals. Lesson 8, hire carefully. It says, I think you definitely don't want to grow too fast. Make sure that every person you hire, you really need to hire that person. Lesson 9, he says, set exceptionally high standards. The number one issue for him is finding superlatively talented people. He says, I think we've been fortunate to find some very, very talented people at SpaceX. That is always the governor on growth. The final lesson, number 10, he says, put the right people in the right role. He says, if you are trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. Each one of these lessons proves to show how Elon Musk has been an effective leader and has had a lot of success leading all these different companies.
This concludes our presentation on Elon Musk. Thank you.